Zach, Flozell, People's Rebuttal, man.
People's Rebuttal.
You look like you're on vacation.
Nah, hey,
Your background.
I'm trying to. The same background I had for the last year and a half.
I know.
But I want to go to the People's Rebuttal.
Oh, yeah,
Fantasy football.
Are we going to the fantasy again? I saw that, man. Them fools getting there and it's nonstop.
I am back on the top.
Are you really?
Yeah, the cream rises to the top.
Let me look at this. Let me look at this league. No, you're number 2.
It's still at the top out of 14.
Yeah.
And whoever that whooped that trick is, you know who that is?
I have no idea who that is.
I don't know either, but he needs to lose. He or she, whoever that is.
Diesel's family. I don't know who that is.
I don't know who Diesel's family is. But, you're 7-5 now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fifth seed.
Yeah, number 5. So I did notice, I don't know, there was something, but I guess top 8 teams. So Vaughn's sitting there holding on to number 8. We'll see what I play him this week.
What is it? One more week and then the playoffs after that?
The playoffs start for us in week 15. So yeah, this week, next week, and then quarterfinals.
Okay. All right. Well, anything can happen.
Yeah. Well, I play Vaughn. I play Vaughn this week, so we'll see what happens. As of right this moment, I have a 56% chance of winning. Although I will say my last week, I had a very little chance of winning, and I won. I won week 12.
I'm looking at this.
118 to 103.
You put the Caleb Williams as your starting quarterback?
Who else am I going to? I mean, who else? But look what he did. 26.9 points. DJ Moore gave me 23.
Well, he did do a very good job last week.
He did.
He did. I was shocked. He seems like he's coming on his own right now. You got Kirk Cousins on the bench.
Look at him. He only put up 17.70. He really hadn't put up a ton of numbers in the past few weeks. If you I mean, he did 17-7 week 12, week 11. Put up 5.92.
Yeah, that would not let me start him this week.
Caleb seems with this new offensive coordinator to have found some traction.
Yeah, he has. I'm looking at him. I mean, 16 points the week before compared to the 6, 9, 9, and 29, 23 back and forth. But the 16 and then last week the 26 against the Vikings, which is a very, very good team, is very impressive. Oh, they got Detroit.
Oh, this week, yeah.
Yeah, they got Detroit. So the last 2 games have been close. They've been close. So to me, that shows an improvement.
Not just improvement. You get rid of the offensive coordinator. You have this new guy who's basically, they even said in some meetings and some interviews, it's more of what fits you instead of, you have an offensive coordinator comes in and says, okay, here's your plays. And this offensive coordinator saying, all right, man, what works for you?
Will somebody listen to Zach the Bear? You want to know how long I've been saying this? I've been saying this since college. Exactly what you said.
But look how well it's doing in Kansas City. He lets them make like 4 or 5 plays a game.
Yeah, that's the point. You can't take today's quarterback and say, this is the way we're going to do it. This is the play. This is the system. This is the way I want you to do it. Just because you are successful with that with another guy, whoever that may have been, don't mean that's going to be successful with this guy. You got to look, offensive coordinator, you see what this guy can do. You have to base your offense around what this guy can do.
And he did make a mistake. Overtime, that game went to overtime. I mean, I was freaking out. We were 11 points down. I was freaking out. I'm like, man, this is some. And then we came back, got the onside kick. I think it's the first onside kick this year.
Well,
Chicago got the first onside kick, but then what happened? Caleb Williams held on to the ball.
He's a rookie.
I know. And they held on. They did very well. I mean, you look at my fantasy, what DJ Moore did, what Caleb Williams did. I mean,
Keenan Allen did a good job. He's on one of my fantasy teams. So
yeah, yes, he kept dropping stuff though.
I know. I could have had more points, but yeah, you gotta fit the system around the quarterback. Don't make the quarterback fit around the system. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't.
Yeah. And that was a heck of a game. What the only reason the Bears lost to the Packers was a blocked field goal.
That's it.
Week 11. That's the only reason they lost to the Packers was a blocked field goal. They did a good job. Defense did a great job. Everybody did a great job. This week it was. I mean, I got to be honest with you. At the end of 4 quarters, you're tied. I consider that a win for my team. I mean, I know that we didn't win. That goes to win, but to come back and do what they did, yeah, I'm completely impressed. And then you made a rookie mistake and crap happens. You move forward.
Rookie mistake. I mean, he's progressed very nicely. I really don't expect it for him to do this, but mistakes do happen. Take it week by week and just keep on moving. That's all you can do.
So as a Bears fan, and I'm going to say this as a football fan, I've said this in years past about the Bears. I don't care if you win. I just need you to be competitive. Just be competitive. We were getting whooped in games.
Yeah, very, very bad. Very, very bad whooped in games. Well, I care about wins.
I care about them, but if you don't win, at least give me a good game.
Yeah. So this year, because of the new quarterback and basically new system and everything, I don't expect to go to the Super Bowl, which is not going to happen. But just like you said, being competitive in the games and keep chucking away at it, and it's going to be beneficial.
100%.
It's going to be beneficial. So I'm liking what I'm seeing right now. So defense playing good, offense playing good. The offensive line is gradually improved. So not great, but gradually improved, certainly from the first half of the season. So it's looking good.
Yeah,
it's looking good.
They are.
And here we coming on to Detroit this week, my boy Dan Campbell. You know, I speak very, very highly of Dan. Yeah. I love me some Dan Campbell, but I don't love him this week.
Loser.
I don't love him this week. Dan Campbell can get this L.
Yeah.
You need to get this L. I'm hoping because those guys are gonna air it out.
They are. So since we weren't on after week 11, we're not gonna go through all the games, all that stuff. Obviously the Jets suck. I mean,
let's talk about them for a little bit.
This is just Aaron Rodgers. You need to lay it down. Most quarterbacks go out halfway decent, in their careers. Tom Brady was only 1 year away. He won the Super Bowl the year before.
He went to the playoffs though his last year.
Right.
Still went to the playoffs. And I think he had like 4,300 yards and like 30-some touchdowns and like 10 interceptions his last year at 45 years old. Yeah, that's not bad.
He's not doing well.
And Aaron Rodgers, I don't know what it is.
They're 3-8.
He got his receiver.
He did.
You can't say he got 2 good receivers. What's that guy, number 5? Is it 5 or something? Wilson.
Yeah.
And then he got Adams.
Yep.
I mean, you got a halfway decent tight end. You got a badass running back.
Look at you.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's what your girlfriend told you years ago. It's not me, it's you. It's you, Aaron Rodgers. You guys to go.
Yeah. I heard about they might just go on and just wash it. You got to clean everything out. They're gonna have a top quarterback, so they might as well. What are they looking at? Probably the first top 5 picks.
Let's see.
You got some good selections out there. So
Yeah. So I do love this. If the draft was today, so they'd be picking at number 7 right now.
number 7.
Jacksonville's at number 1.
What?
Jacksonville, then New York, Las Vegas, New England, Carolina, Tennessee, Jets. That's the draft order if it was today.
Well, they have Milroe, Alabama's number 1. Ward, I haven't watched him very much in Miami. Number 2. Shedeur Sanders, number 3.
Dallas.
Garrett Nussmeier, number 4. Drew Aller, Penn State, number 5. So, I mean, 7th pick, 3 quarterbacks gone. I don't think Shedeur Sanders is going to be in the top 10.
You don't think so? You don't think Dallas moves up? I mean, I guarantee you he wants to play. You know, that's obviously the rumor. He comes to Dallas and Deion comes and coaches.
I would love to see that. I would love to see that. I would love to see Deion Sanders as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. And look, people are like, oh, he's going to be the first black quarterback. I mean, first black head coach for the Dallas Cowboys. I don't care about the color of his skin as for the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Seriously, I don't. It's just Deion Sanders.
I think he brings an energy. He brings an energy that Dallas needs. That's the whole deal.
People will be overflowing that stadium.
Yep.
You won't find a parking spot for 5 miles outside that stadium even if they lost.
Yep.
He's going to bring the energy, and guess who is the person with the main energy in that whole organization? Jerry. He loves energy. He loves bright lights, big city, bright lights, big money.
I will be very curious to see. Obviously, that's going to be the top. After the season's over, that's headline 101. Because you can't keep Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy was a great, but the game has outgrown. You know, you have head coaches. You look at Bill Belichick. Belichick is a Hall of Fame coach. He's a Hall of Fame. I mean, he is a phenomenal coach, but the game surpassed him. It moved past him. And there comes a point where you have to go, okay, it's time to go. Mike McCarthy, sorry to say, dude, your time was back in Green Bay.
Yeah. What is this, his 5th year?
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it's his last year in his contract.
4th year, 5th year, either or. I mean, you know, I'm all for, you know, give a guy a chance. You know, they're not going to, like, people want instant gratification, Super Bowl the first year and all that stuff, but it's not going to happen. But, you know, I give him 2 years.
I don't know. And you bring Deion in there with the talent that's there. I could see Deion getting pretty damn close to a Super Bowl.
I mean, look at what he's doing in Colorado.
Excitement.
I mean, Colorado sucked for 10 years, and he turned it around in 1 year. And then they lost last week, unfortunately. But, I mean, just look how he turned the program around with the transfers, with the personnel and all that stuff. He can do that down here in Dallas. So that energy.
The energy, that to me, that is everything. I think Deion walks in here and just, I mean, you know, lights the Dallas Cowboys up. Super Bowl, maybe not, but pretty damn close. And maybe Super Bowl.
They go into the playoffs the first year, guaranteed.
Yeah. That I do see. I see that with Deion.
So he's going to want to draft his son.
And he should.
I know. So now
the report he has.
Now we need to talk about Dak.
No. You take Shakur Sanders. You take his son. You sit him behind Dak for 1 year. Give him 1 year. Maybe toss him in there for a few plays. Let him get the feel for the game. Don't do anything crazy. You know, don't do anything stupid. Just let him get out there and play around and do some stuff. Get used to it. and you look at the Aaron Rodgers, you look at the Jordan Loves who have sat behind great quarterbacks, and no matter what anybody says, Dak is a phenomenal quarterback.
I agree with you. And I am like the top 5 Dak fan.
Oh yeah.
And I believe in chances and all that other stuff. Just like I said with Mike McCarthy, I'm going to give you a year or two, folding into number 3. But you've been here 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
So your time is up. So we get to Dak. He didn't start his first year. He came in a little bit with Romo and all that stuff. So technically, I think this is his 8th, 9th year. You've had 7 to 8 years. So,
but he's put up the numbers. You look under the other offensive coordinator. I mean, he was putting up phenomenal numbers.
Yeah.
But again, you go right back to what happened with the Bears. You get rid of a guy who says you're going to play my kind of football, and Caleb Williams didn't do well playing his kind of football. Dak, the offensive coordinator, that ended up going to the Chargers and went wherever else, whatever his name was. Under him, Dak was putting up numbers. So what's this guy doing? Yeah, and look what's going on with Philly now.
They're 9-2.
Yeah. So doesn't that tell you? I mean, it's proof positive that your coordinator that it's almost as if your quarterback should interview your coordinators. What do you see for me to be doing in this offense?
It don't work that way, but I get you. I wish it did. You would have a lot of good quarterbacks out there if they had a chance. If they were LeBron James of football, hey, I get to pick who I want. This is what's going to be success. I
don't know about pick, but yes, I'm going to put some guys. I want your feedback, and yeah, for the most part, pick your top 3, and then I'll pick, or pick your top 2, and then I'll pick between the 2. Because you also have to have somebody who fits within your organization.
Oh my God, they can't get rid of him next year. Cap. Okay. 2025. I'm looking at Dak's contract. 2025. He can say, I'm just going back. Deion coming here, and Shadir's on him. They're going to want him to play. But like any other great quarterback, like Joe Montana sat on the bench, Steve Young sat on the bench, Aaron Rodgers, when he was good, sat on the bench. Brett Favre sat on the bench.
Jordan Love.
Those guys. Patrick Mahomes sat on the bench.
Buying Alex Smith.
Lamar Jackson was on the bench his first year.
Flacco.
Yeah. Ben Roethlisberger.
There's a pattern.
And on. So sit him behind Dak. I love Dak. I love Dak. Dak, if you hear this, man, I love you, man. I love you, man. But next year is his last year. They can't. So his dead cap money for 2026 is $62 million.
Woo!
The year after that is $34 million, 2027.
And you might be able to trade him to a team at that point.
You might be able to trade him at that point because the salary cap is $68 million for 2025. So that means the NFL, I don't know, the salary cap in the NFL got to go high. They won't be able to sign anything. But goodness gracious. If they were to cut him, just say it's not going to happen. If they were to cut him this year, the dead cap money is $151 million. Cap hit is $90 million. Goodness gracious.
But who would take him at that?
Say if he was cut this year?
Well, let's say a team. I can sit here and think of, first of all, if New York came in the hunt, that'd be a vengeance game from hell. New York against Dallas. That would be murder. Jets.
You can't send him to New York. He'll light up Dallas every friggin' year. light them up like a firecracker.
He'd be like Aaron Rodgers to the Chicago Bears.
Oh, goodness gracious. Oh,
Every year.
Twice a year.
I like Jack enough to say, look, man, and I think I said this when we did our little draft party. Freaking Steelers, 100%. He that is a with Dak at the Steelers, that is a Super Bowl team year one.
You know what? But I don't know, Steelers cheap. I don't know if they want to take that money.
Yeah.
So they have Russell Wilson at minimum wage.
Yep.
And they got Justin Fields in his contract, but he's a first rounder in his first round contract.
Yep.
So they're gonna have to make a decision at the end of the season who they're gonna keep or they're gonna sign both and all of the stuff. For the Pittsburgh Steelers to pick up Dak's contract, he's not going to the Steelers. They don't pay that type of money. So I mean, the only thing you can say is Jets. Man, everybody's got a signed quarterback.
Nope. Giants. They just dumped Daniel Jones. That's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. You got to pay him no matter what. Just stick him out there.
I mean, they did that with a lot of people, man. They do that junk all the doggone time. I mean, everybody has a quarterback except maybe two. There go Terrell. What's up, Terrell? Dak to the Raiders.
Ooh.
Dak to the Raiders or Dak to Seattle. Yeah.
I can see.
Seattle or Raiders. They have the money. The Raiders, they don't care. They like Dallas. They'll blow their money up. They don't care. They just pay. The Raiders make sense. You don't have to play them every year.
That is true.
And then you say, hey,
you don't want him going anywhere. You got to play.
Nah, not twice a year.
Giants. I mean, Giants are the only team. Eagles aren't going to take him. Commanders aren't going to take him. No. I mean, the Giants, the Jets, Jacksonville. I don't know if he'd want to go, basically, Cleveland used to be where your career died as a quarterback. It has now become Cleveland and Jacksonville is where where you go to die as a quarterback.
It's not Jacksonville because they just signed this dude this past summer for $225.
That long-haired dude?
Yeah, Jesus Christ Superstar. So, yeah, he's signed. So they most likely won't be able to do it. Cleveland, I think they have a year or two left with Deshaun Watson. We just talked about that. You came on late.
Yeah, we talked about Caleb. We talked about the new coordinator. He's doing a lot better now with the new coordinator. I came out and said that the new coordinator is actually saying, "Hey, what do you want to do?" And Caleb says he feels more comfortable. That's nothing against Shane Waldron. There's nothing against old. It was just difference in who they were.
Yeah. So you definitely built a system around Caleb. So it's been looking good.
So since we're talking Cowboys, again, you want to win, but you at least want a competitive game. The Texans Cowboys, and I know they just won against the Commanders, but we're not talking that. We're going back to Week 11. Texas Cowboys, 34-10.
Yeah, that was embarrassing. Man. That was embarrassing. I mean, they just slowly dismantled them, had a wrench and just start taking everything apart. Like you get a car and get a wrench, just start taking everything apart. The doors, the fenders, the alternator, take the wheels off, take the brake pads off.
Take the hubcaps off.
Just take the hubcaps off. They slowly dismantled them, and that was very, very tough game to watch.
Yeah.
Very tough game.
Well, and the Bills handed the Chiefs their first loss of the year. I always think the funny thing about that is this happens quite often during the year. And I heard one sports announcer say, I'd rather you lose during the regular season and finally win a playoff game against the Chiefs.
Yeah, he is correct. Kansas City Chiefs is a different football team when the playoffs come. And right now, I mean, they're probably top Super Bowl favorites again.
Yeah.
again.
So are the Lions. The Lions are in
And the
there
Lions
actually.
too. Lions,
Lions are in
NFC.
there now.
So if I would have guessed, I would say the Super Bowl would be the Lions and
Chiefs.
KC right now.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see. Yeah, that'll be neat. So obviously, this past week, the Browns beat the Steelers. I did not see that one coming.
I saw that. You see the
game.
You see the highlights with all that snow, making fake
Yeah,
snow.
I like it.
Yeah, I love games like that because no matter what type of field turf there is, it's always slippery and slick, and the defensive end can't get off the ball, so you can just jump. Yep, just get the elements, more elements, more. I wish every game was a downpour.
Yeah.
Downpour, like raining like crazy. Oh, what about the quarterback at the ball? And what about, I'll let them handle their whole stuff.
Yeah, that's their problem, not mine.
Yeah. I got to go on and just go and do that.
Yeah. Titans beat Texans. Didn't expect that one. Vikings over the Bears. Again, I'm proud of what the Bears did in the game. Obviously, Caleb is attributed with the loss because he did exactly, I'm part of a Bears fan club deal where they go through all the stuff, and nobody realizes it's the exact same thing that Jordan Love did, was holding on to the damn ball too long. Just throw it away. Throw it away. But a rookie mistake. You move forward. It was a competitive game. Cowboys over the Commanders. I was surprised.
I was very surprised. And I really did not watch that game because I was outside working on a car. And then I decided to come in. I turned on the television. I expected to see something bad. And I turned it on with 5 minutes left. I was like, wait. I said, wait, what?
Yeah.
And then I looked on my phone just to make sure it was right. And it was right. And so I sat down and watched the end of that game. It was totally impressive that they just kept fighting. They kept fighting.
That's what counts.
That's what counts. The special teams came in for them with the punt return for a touchdown, just at the end of the game when they got that one play, what was that, 82 yards? Come on, man.
Yep.
Come on, don't make it that easy on them. Don't make it that easy on them. Because I was like, goodness, good. They lost a freaking game, and the doggone kicker missed an extra point.
Which, by the way, Washington, I feel your pain.
Yeah.
All these are pretty much knowns. I was surprised that the Panthers kept up with the Chiefs as much as they did.
But Bryce Young seems to be, finally coming around a little bit. Finally coming around just a little bit. So he's probably in position to, I don't know, maybe get a trade or something for a receiver to help him better. But, he's been having the last couple of games have been doing pretty good.
Yeah. Tampa Lions 24-6 over the Colts. Wasn't really surprised about that one. I don't know what everybody kept talking about. The Colts going to do something. I was like, that's not happening.
Yeah, I doubt it. That doggone Richardson's quarterback. He has totally been. They talk about Bryce Young not doing good, and I don't hear any noise about this guy. He gets hurt doing crazy stuff like he's doing high school things out there. I can't really tell
because he's tired.
I can't really tell if it's a system. It's most likely it's probably the same thing that's Caleb going through and Justin Fields gone through and a couple other young quarterbacks gone through. Hey, this is what we're gonna do. I want you to do it.
Yeah.
Instead of fitting a system around the guy, they try to make the guy fit into the system. It's not going to work. So they're going to have a lot of things to think about this offseason in Indianapolis Colts.
Vaughn's Raiders lost to the Broncos. Seattle beat. I was surprised Seattle beat the Cardinals 16-6. I didn't watch the game, but the Packers just rolled over the 49ers. I don't know what's going on with the 49ers.
I don't know. They're preaching for a coaching change out there. I think they didn't have a quarterback. Brock Purdy was hurt.
Yeah, he was out.
Yeah, he was out. So that does make a big difference.
And they're 5-6. They're last in the NFC West.
So, you can't take them for granted. Brock Purdy comes back. You got to watch them towards the end because they still have a defensive team that can put some numbers on you. But want to go back one. Denver Broncos are secretly 7-5.
Oh yeah.
7-5. So Sean Payton doing what he does, nice and quiet, is starting to sneak in and be a competitor. So at this point, you probably got to watch out with them, Denver Broncos, when they play the Kansas City Chiefs.
Chargers are 7-4.
The Chargers.
Sneaky.
And they lost last night.
Yeah. Steelers are 8-3. Nobody's really talking about Steelers doing a whole lot. But man.
I never talk about the Steelers until playoffs.
Playoffs?
To the playoffs, too. Which they always do. For whatever reason, they always go to the playoffs. But yeah, they're pretty good defensive team. And they always beat on Baltimore. They beat Baltimore the other week. And then went out Thursday night into the snowstorm and lost against the Cleveland Browns.
So next is Eagles Rams. So we're gonna go to the fantasy. Saquon Barkley put 44.20 points on my fantasy yesterday or Sunday. That dude went off.
Man, they talking about MVP.
Oh yeah, I mean, and of course you say this. Knowing that it's a system, we've already talked about that. Saquon didn't fit inside of whatever New York was doing. I think it's because they never feared. Obviously, one of the big things that the reason Saquon is doing so well is you have to worry about Jalen Hurts, him throwing the ball to multiple receivers. You have Saquon that can carry the ball. You have Hurts who can carry the ball. It's just there's so much for the Philadelphia Eagles right now. And again, I mean, you look at them; they're 9-2 right now.
9-2. I mean, I had the game on one of my other fantasy teams. I had the game won. I'm like, okay, Barkley's gonna get 15, 17 points, and the other guys are gonna get like 20 points, and I'm still 10, 15 points ahead. On this fantasy league, he had got 55.80 points.
Woo!
55 points.
26 carries, 255 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
When was the last time somebody got 255 yards? Well, probably Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
And that was probably not this year. When was it this year?
He's gotten quite a bit this year. I have Derrick Henry. He has given me some pretty ridiculous points.
Yeah, so it's not too many people out there running 255 yards.
No. And then the brothers when played each other, the Harbaugh family.
The Harbaugh.
Yeah. And Cheater McCheaterson lost.
Who?
Cheater McCheaterson. Signal caller. The Michigan guy.
Oh, Michigan guy. Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah.
Oh well. I mean, I must admit that he has definitely turned the Chargers around this year. And he's playing old school football out there. Old school stuff. Run first and pass second.
His running back's happy for it because he's putting up some pretty big numbers himself.
Yeah, and it was Dobbins, and he's the one that was in Baltimore for 2 or 3 years. So, he wanted to do some impressions with that.
Yeah. So we got Thanksgiving coming up this week. There's 3 games on Sunday. The first one's going to make me sad. Dallas the Lions. I'm a Bears fan. I'm going to say Bears are going to win, but we all know the truth.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, you're right. I was about to get the benefit of the doubt, but
it is a divisional game, so you never know.
I know those Lions are so doggone hot right now, but hey, you don't know. Any given Sunday on a Thursday,
any given Thanksgiving,
all you got to do is shake up golf a little bit, and that's your advantage.
And they got the defense to do it. That defense has done very well.
Yeah, they shake them up a little bit, and press that receiver number 14, they should be able to do a good job.
New York Cowboys better win. I mean, that is wow. Like, you bet they're 2-9. The Giants are. They don't have a good DeVito's playing. Danny DeVito's playing.
Dan DeVito's son.
I mean,
it should be a win. It should be a win. We're talking about the Cowboys on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So maybe hopefully they're not riding too high off of beating the Redskins, and they start to focus and do what they need to do.
Yep. Dolphins, Packers, at Green Bay, I'm going to take the Packers.
I'll take Miami.
Raiders, Chiefs. Sorry, Vaughn. You're going to get whooped on Friday night or Friday afternoon. Friday afternoon, 2:00.
When did they start doing that?
I don't know.
That new?
No, they did it last year.
Oh, man. Shoot. On a Friday. Okay. Whatever works. More money for the NFL.
Exactly. Texans, Jaguars, Texans.
I'll take the Texans over the Jaguars.
Colts, Patriots. I mean, you could flip a coin to figure that one out.
That's going to be not a game that I'll be trying to watch.
No. I mean, it might be a fluffer game for the Colts, or it'll be the Patriots going, ha, we got win number 4.
Yeah.
Chargers, Falcons. I think the Chargers are going to win that game.
I'll take the Falcons.
All right. Believing in Michigan State, Kirk Cousins.
I'm believing in Kirk Cousins because he's had 2 or 3 mediocre games. It's time for him to wake up.
Yeah.
And then he's got his receiver back. They coming off a bye week, so they have his receivers back. So, boom. There we go.
Seahawks, Jets,
Seahawks, yeah. I don't see Aaron Rodgers doing anything. And then Adams, he's the old what's that guy that was here? He's with the Buffalo Bills right now. He was with Dallas Cowboys. Cleveland. Cooper. So he might be taking the last couple of games off, Mr. Adams, for the Jets, saying, hey, I can't get hurt. So I expect to see that, especially when the playoff hopes are totally gone. Yes.
Yeah. Titans, Commanders. Ooh, game of the week. Game of the week there. Steelers, Bengals.
Ooh.
That's a game.
Now, Burrow is technically having a very, very good season, but the record is not reflecting that.
No, 4-7.
I mean, he has the stats. I don't know what the stats are. You look at his numbers and everything. It looks like they should be 8-2 type numbers that this guy has, but they're not winning. And yeah, Steelers and Cincinnati, that's a rivalry too. So yeah, that's one I should turn on.
Cardinals, Vikings. I'm gonna stick with Cardinals.
I'll take the Vikings on this because Vikings are the defensive team that are very, very quiet. So expect they get the little munchkin running all around. They contain him a little bit and slow down that tight end who got 12 catches last week, McBride.
All right.
And they should be able to get, some points on the board if they stop those guys.
Rams, Saints. I'm actually going to take the Rams. They seem to have done a little bit better lately.
I don't know. Is Carr still hurt for the Saints? He hasn't been playing, has he?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'll take the Rams too. There's any given Sunday where the quarterback for the Rams, he'll just throw up 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. You never know what he's going to do.
Stafford, yeah. Bucks, Panthers. I'll take the Bucks.
Yeah, the Bucks. The Bucks, little frisky Mayfield. He's still putting up decent numbers every week.
So this isn't a rivalry, but maybe this is the game of the week. Philadelphia Eagles, Ravens.
Ooh.
Damn.
They got 2. That game and Pittsburgh and the Bengals. But wow, Philly and Baltimore.
I refuse to even call this one because
the two cities are rivalries anyways.
Right.
Like, you just talk, no football, no anything, just Philly and Baltimore. They're just, always butted heads for years. But now the football teams are playing, which is going to make it worse.
Yeah, that's
going to be a good one. Is that Sunday night?
It's at 3.
Oh, 3 o'clock?
3:30 our time. Yeah.
That'll be a good game.
49er Bills, obviously Bills.
Yeah, Bills probably going to come in and take it. Where? Is Orchid Park or San Fran?
In Buffalo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got the Bills for that.
And Browns Broncos. In Denver, I'll take the Broncos.
Take the Broncos. 7-5, they're looking pretty good. Quarterback is secret rookie quarterback. Nix has been doing pretty good. So, yeah, I got them.
That's all we got, man. That's our football for today. Got anything else, man?
No, I don't have anything else. Just football, and hopefully the Bears will win, and hopefully the Cowboys will win. That's all I want. They'll make a very, very good Thanksgiving weekend.
Peace in life, yes.
Peace in life.
All right. Well, we appreciate you, Taro. Everybody have a good day.